Honorable, my esteemed learned brother, Justice Haq, the real architect of innovative creativity from the medical world, which really has made all of us proud. Beyond words, depiction and description, my esteemed brother, Satish Devpujari, the entire Satej Medinova team, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I would like to join all of you in recording my sense of compliments, praise, appreciation, and gratitude in unison to a really benchmark innovation which has been worked out so diligently and has been crafted in a manner which is not only exemplary in character but also emulative in nature. I join learned Justice Haq in complimenting the team and really carrying forward the burden of a very quality-centric, affordable health care to the needy in this country in the interest of men, mankind and humanism alike. I'm just wanting to put my stray thoughts on a theme which has been given to me. And I'm really delighted to be putting my stray thoughts on that theme. I trust and believe that it befits the occasion in a real sense that, believe me, Dr. Padole, if you and me would not have seen this, perhaps there was nothing in our imagination to be believing the same. And therefore, Dr. Satish Devpujari was very categorically emphatic. कि डॉक्टर आज तुम्हाला बोलायचं आहे तर तुम्ही सीइंग इज बिलीविंग या थीमवरती आम्हाला तुम्हाला ऐकायचं आहे. And therefore I am wanting to put across thematically that believing is not accidental. Believing mandates that there has to be a cogent, credible reason for that belief. There are philosophical dimensions to it. And there is a scientific analogy which is blended with that philosophical dimension. I'm just wanting to quote a paraphrase which in classical Marathi we always use. Quote, Baap dakho, nahi to shraddha kar. Unquote. This is the edifice on which I'm wanting to put across the theme in terms of seeing is believing. What we see, do we necessarily believe, is a $1 million question. And what we believe, is it necessarily seen, is another $1 million question. And therefore seeing and believing is basically a huge continuum which ultimately at times is in unison with each other, and on good number of occasions it is even in conflict with each other. And this is the entire paradigm which has its own essence of beauty and its own essence of imaginative creativity incorporated therein. But perhaps it will be imperative for us to decipher for ourselves as to how exactly these chronologies are. Bertrand Russell very categorically said, believing is seeing and seeing is believing. It appears as if he was just using a metaphor. But if we deeply analyze into it, perhaps there is a wider meaning, wider context in what the analogy is being put across. When we contemplate seeing is believing, ladies and gentlemen, there is an important phenomena which gets worked up, and that is what is called as perception. Another dimension which has to be borne in mind. All that we perceive, does it automatically get converted into perception? No. There are certain things which get converted into perception out of what we see. And therefore, how exactly these perceptions ultimately get converted into beliefs? There is a process incorporated in it. And that process is, whenever we are wanting to develop a perception, ladies and gentlemen, there are three important factors which govern the same. One, the way you are seeing it, the way you are thinking it, and a mental model which is cause of both. This is the trinity which has to be borne in mind. The same thing being viewed by the 10 persons, but if the way of seeing is different, even if the way of seeing is common, the way of thinking is different. Even if the way of seeing and thinking is different, a mental model which is expected to be then interpolated, that may be different. And therefore a single thing which is seen can have multiple dimensions in terms of different hues, different shades, different colors, different perceptions. What we normally see in the realistic, materialistic sense, philosophically it is called as reality. Reality per se in gross can be seen in the same manner by anybody and everybody. But when it comes to thinking getting blended into it, the mental model getting blended into it, then it is a differential thinking, differential seeing, and therefore differential believing. And therefore very rightly, out of the Platonic epistemology, the three significant horizons which were put across, they need to be taken note of. There are three significant horizons which result in an organized ideation which is called as a mental model. And they are, the first important parable which has to be taken note of, ladies and gentlemen, is that there is something which we call as a core belief. All of us have core beliefs. Therefore, whatever we see, that is interpolated with a core belief that we harbor. It is not only that core belief is an isolated situation which has to be taken note of. There is second important parameter which gets linked with that core belief, and that is world view. दुनिया क्या कहती है, दुनिया क्या सोचती है, दुनिया की क्या मान्यता है. और इसीलिए कदाचित सद्गुरु कहते हैं कि सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग. It is that dimension which has got a second impact on what we see and what we harbor belief as. And third is the value system that gets generated out of the social conformity, family conformity, and cultural conformity. These are the three important horizons which ultimately result in generation of an abject filter out of which the entire perceptions are required to go through. Ladies and gentlemen, the beauty of the nature, as very rightly put in the Vedic literature, is that everything in nature is interlinked and they are interdependent. But we are never in a position to see that abstract as a realistic whole. And we contemplate that perhaps it is an abstract depiction. Charak was very right when he contemplated that ultimately when you talk of evidence in the form of praman, praman is ultimate evidence which you are able to go in for reproducibility and repetitiveness. But there are three other dimensions of praman, and those were depicted as 1, anuman, 2, akalan, 3, anubhav, blended with anubhav, anubhuti, and then praman. These are the 5 stages which are contemplated, and these have been depicted 5,000 years before in terms of हम और आप अनुमान लगाते हैं, हम और आप आकलन करते हैं, हमारे और आपके पास में अनुभव होते हैं, अनुभव के साथ अनुभूतियां होती हैं, और इन सब के बाद में प्रमाणों का औचित्य और प्रमाणों का संदर्भ हुआ करता है. इसलिए ये मान करके चलना कि केवल प्रमाण ही प्रमाण हैं, यह औचित्यपूर्ण नहीं होता. It's a mix of all these things, and therefore it is a belief which gets generated out of it. 1995, I would like to definitely refer to, for this learned gathering, what is called as Argyris theory in regard to what is the ladder of inference. Why is it we call that seeing is believing? Perhaps in our Anuman this must have been there. In our Akalan it must have been there. In our Anubhav also we must be contemplating it intuitively. A very right word was used. Intuitive integration may be another dimension. But today it is demonstrable and it is seen in the form of an concrete evidence, fully functional, and therefore there is no doubt for anybody to be disbelieving the same. And that is seeing is believing. But do we draw this inference automatically? Do you mean to say that this particular ideation which has been generated came into this particular transformed form in just a corollary which came out of its own? No, ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly which has been contemplated by Argyris, a Harvard professor, in the year 1995, who very categorically emphasized that all that we believe upon seeing, all that is structured in your analytical thought, it is as a result of not just perception that you are seeing, but it is also an integration of your assumptions and your beliefs as well. These are the two important considerations which have to be taken note of. They cannot be given a go by, and therefore Argyris' concept and the ladder pattern of inference which he says, which he puts across, is absolutely simple. All of us perceive data. Yes, data has to be perceived. But do you take entire data, or there is a selected data which is taken into consideration? From perception, you move on to selection. But with that selection, the next parameter which is required to be incorporated, ladies and gentlemen, is personal reasoning. There is a reasoning at your disposal, and therefore it is that attribution of the personal reasoning which gets incorporated in it. And therefore the third step which is integrated is your and my personal meaning that we harbor to the selected data that we have taken into consideration. As if that is not enough. With that personal reasoning, what are we wanting to be adding? With that personal reasoning, we are adding certain assumptions that are born out of those personal reasonings. So we blend assumptions to it, and based on the assumptions, then we derive an inference or a conclusion out of it. But then that conclusion is not acted upon, ladies and gentlemen. To that conclusion, what you add is the world belief that is known to you and me, and interpolating with that world belief, then you invoke a line of action which is generated out of that seeing, it converted into belief, blended with personal reasoning, incorporated with assumptions, and then it has been put across with worldly view, and final shape of the action gets generated out of it. I am wanting to put this analogy, ladies and gentlemen, primarily because they have been the creators, they have been the innovators who have been able to challenge their beliefs. Until and unless the beliefs are challenged, newness does not get generated. Otherwise, apples have been falling from the apple tree incessantly, but perhaps it is the inquisitive mind of the Newton which looks at the falling apple, does not stop at that, incorporates in terms of the grappling as to the reason for it, because that was perception of a falling apple. But why should apple fall? And if at all the apple has to fall, why it should fall only on the earth? And if at all it has to fall in the earth, what is that in the earth which is attracting that apple to fall? Is it only the weight of the apple which is the cause of the fall, or there is something intrinsic cause incorporated in that fall? And when he grapples with challenging that particular belief, which must have been a worldly view at the contemporary point of time, he is able to innovate and bring out the laws of gravitation, which alter the entire concept of what we call as the modern science. And therefore I am wanting to conclude, ladies and gentlemen, this brief address of mine on a small conception. It is said, perception cannot be blind. And therefore it is rightly said, a perception should always have a conception incorporated within it. When perception is incorporated with an essence of conception, then this is the result which gets generated of it. And then people like you and me say that yes, he saw, he made himself believe, he assumed, went beyond the worldly way, challenged, and created that which is to be seen by all of us, for us to blindly believe. Therefore, it is a challenge belief to a blind belief, which is seeing is believing and believing is seeing. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for patient listening.